Hey internet, what have you been up to? Oh really? That is interesting and illegal. So I'm sure all of you know this by now because it's such a big deal, but Friends is officially on Netflix. Yeah, all 10 seasons, you can watch them back to back. Netflix will only stop you about like every 3 episodes and be like, are you still watching? And then you're like, yeah Netflix, I'm still watching. If I wasn't watching, I would have turned off my TV by now. And if I fell asleep, maybe the sound of Friends is comforting and it helps me sleep. Get off and back, Netflix, but I digress. It's great news for people who have never seen the show. It's just all around good news unless you hate life and you hate Friends. Like actual friends, not like the show Friends. Like you hate your friends. Then maybe you won't like Friends, but you'll probably still like it. So of course, like I do with everything else, I hopped on that bandwagon right away and I started watching Friends. The series finale aired over 10 years ago, so I'm a little late to the game, but I haven't seen every episode of Friends. And so I was like, this is a great opportunity for me to see what all the hype is about. So of course that inspired me to make a video of 10 things that Friends has taught me. Let's do this. Okay, let's get started with number 10. Condoms are not 100% effective. I mean, I thought they were until I watched Friends. They're not always effective. I think they're 96% effective. Is that what Friends taught me? I don't remember, but they're not 100% effective. Keep that in mind because you may end up having a child with your best friend that you only had like a one-night stand with, but if for some reason that didn't ruin your friendship and you're secretly in love with them, but I'll let you guys watch it. Number 9. No matter how weird you think a dessert is, if it asks you to put beef in it, it's probably not right. Let's just take a moment and think about some desserts that are good. Cheesecake, ice cream, regular cake, eclairs, pudding, jello, cannolis. The list just goes on and on. But there's one thing that all of these desserts have in common. Well, a couple of things. They're all delicious, 1. And 2, none of them have beef in them. So if you're making a dessert and it says to put beef in there, just take a moment, stop, and think, no, something must be wrong. Number 8, be nice to your fat childhood friend because you never know who's gonna get hot. There's not much more to say about that. It's just that you should be nice to fat people, I guess, is what I learned. Number 7, in China, Chinese food is just called food. They don't call it Chinese food. Which brings me to the thought if they have like Chinese buffets over in China. Because Chinese people historically are not morbidly obese like Americans are, and we have Chinese buffets here, but I don't think they have them over in China. Some food for thought right there. Number 6. If you have a song and there's like the short little pause in it and you're like, you know, I don't want to put any lyrics in here, but it just doesn't feel right. I feel like there should be something else here. You know what you can do? You can add 4 claps and it's gonna sound great and it's gonna be iconic and it's just gonna be all around good. Number 5. No matter how down you're feeling about not having a lot of friends or maybe that, you know, people you went to school with just don't care about you anymore, never, and I mean never, hold a memorial service for yourself because it just can't end up good any way you look at it. Because if a lot of people show up and they're all sad and stuff and you're hiding behind a door, you're gonna wanna jump out and be like, I'm not dead, guys, come be my friend. And then they're gonna think you're really weird and they're like, no thanks. Or if like nobody shows up, you're just gonna make yourself feel bad. Or if one person shows up and they're extremely attractive and they confess their feelings for you and you hear them and you're like, oh my God, I'm not dead, I'm alive, let's go make babies together, that person is not gonna be as attracted to you as they were when they thought you were dead. And then you're back to where you started about feeling bad about yourself. Number 4, always have a backup persona ready at your disposal just in case you get into a situation where you have to be someone else. I mean, we've all been there. We've gotten ourselves into a jam and we're like, man, do you know how much easier this would be if I was just a different person? Cue Regina Phalange. If you do not have a Regina Phalange of your own, what are you doing with your life? See, I've got Vinnie Duke. I'm not really Vinnie Duke. But if I was in a situation where somebody's like, who are you? And I don't want to be like, me, I could be like, I'm Vinnie Duke. And they'll be like, yeah, right. And I'll just be like, Google it. And then my face pops up on Google. They think I'm Vinnie Duke. They think I'm a real person. Bada bing, bada boom. Long story short, I'm not getting arrested for robbing that bank because I'm Vinnie Duke. I don't rob banks. Number 3. Having shared custody of your son with your ex-lover and her new lesbian lover means seeing him about once every season or so. Like, what's the deal with that? Like, especially when Emma came along, you know, Emma was on the show like a lot, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, where the heck is Ben? I'm pretty sure there's like a couple of seasons where you don't even see Ben at all, and you're like, is he like not his dad anymore? And then you're like, where did Emma go? She just disappeared. Where does it stay? I mean, like, where is it at? I don't know. These are the questions that haunt me at night. Who is taking care of that kid? I am freaking out. Number 2. Floofy is a personality type. It is a combination between flaky and loopy. I'm sure you know plenty of people who are floopy. I know a lot of people who are floopy. Floopy friends can sometimes be your best friends, because they're the people who will make you go eat at an Outback by yourself because they ditched you. And then you get to have a experience of eating at Outback by yourself. It is eye-opening. And being loopy is always great because they make you look less loopy. And I mean, that's the real goal in life, right? Is to appear less loopy, so. And the number 1 thing I learned from Friends was, no matter how many jobs you go through, how terrible your agent is, how much you complain about not getting paid a lot, or really any other case scenario of the careers of these folks on Friends, you can still afford a 2-bedroom, 1,200 square foot apartment in Manhattan for 10 years. Don't question it. It just happens. It's on TV, so it's real. Just kidding. The real number 1 thing I learned from Friends is that friends are important. Oh, now it's all mushy. Oh, how mushy of me. Thanks for watching today, guys. I'm sorry I haven't put out a video in like 2 weeks. Life has just been busy. Good, but busy. You'll be seeing a video from me next week for sure because it's Valentine's Day and I have a special treat for all of you guys. I'm not gonna tell you though. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit. What? I didn't say that. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you want to see more like it. And please leave a comment down below of what you learned from Friends because it's a great show. Peace out, Pop-Tarts. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. The job's a joke, you're broke. The love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. It hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. No, I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you. I don't know the words.